was able to watch a documentary, Finding Joe, that that documented the work and the philosophy of professor and author Joseph Campbell. I think I mentioned Jonathan Campbell a second ago, but I was incorrect. It's Joseph Campbell. And his research centered around all the different stories, different cultures, movies, books that told a story where someone went through something to come to an outcome, was presented with a challenge that was overcome. He tabbed this process that had this common link, this common thread, and all these stories, much like our stories have a common thread. He tabbed it, the hero's journey. Not to forget the women, I'm going to add in there the shero's journey as well. It's a 3-part process where every character comes to a point where they must separate themselves. Where they're separated from maybe their comfort zone, their family, their tribe, whatever. And they move on to a process of dealing with and preparing themselves to deal with a challenge that was a struggle that caused separation. Call this point the initiation. And once they've grown through this initiation process, they return. So the separation, the initiation, and the return. So let's look at that for a second. When we look at our story, what's your story? And this is where I want you to really focus in. If you got your tablet, take notes each week. I'm gonna always make sure that I go to the tablet so you have some takeaway, you have a visual of what I'm saying. Every story is gonna have typically these 3 points. Something that we went through, something we had to do to grow through it, and how we return and profit from it. So when we apply it to the 5 Ps from episode 2, check that out if you missed it last week. The 5 Ps just basically introduced the pain that makes many of us stop. To look at the problems that many of us talk too much about. To move on from the challenge that separates us from our comfort zone to the plan. And the plan moves on with a process till we come back to the return, which is where we profit. So, Professor Campbell's work focused in on separation. Excuse my scribble scratch. Separation moves on to the initiation. To the initiation, which I see as the growth period. We're all going through a separation from our comfort zone right now. So in everybody's story, we all have a chapter of COVID-19. We all have a COVID-19 chapter that has separated us from something. Our livelihood, our friends and family, our freedoms, our choices. But we've had to grow through this. The comfort zone of maybe not having the money coming in. The comfort zone of not knowing what tomorrow is going to bring. The challenge in that is to see the beauty in this day and not be hijacked by hours and hours of watching news media feed to you where we're at and where we're going. Don't miss this day in that process. But we've been given time to grow. And if we've spent this time worrying and not looking at growth, asking ourselves, what did I do? What didn't I do? And what will I do to grow forward? Then we've missed an opportunity, because this is the initiation stage in our story. What new skills will you return? What new skills will you return with? When you go back to school, when you go back to work, when things go back to normal, as many people say, Can't wait for things to go back to normal. As if we weren't talking about things getting better when they were back to where they were. So, we've all been separated. We're all being initiated. But we need to focus on growth. And if we do that, we're going to return better than when we started. So I want you to ask yourself, who is this story about? It's about you. It's not about your sister, your brother, your mother, your father, your friends. It's about you. What will your life story be about? What are you here for? What are you here for? That question needs to be answered within your story, or somebody's going to be saying what they think you were here for. When did you get started, or when will you get started? When did you begin, or when will you begin? That question is the question of the day, the when. Where is this story taking you? Where has this story brought you from? Many of us are not where we started. Hopefully, your story has gotten better. Hopefully, you're further along than maybe where you were in your childhood. You've learned some new things from your childhood. So where is your story brought you from, and where is your story taking you? So when you post on Facebook and other media, where are you taking us? What's the purpose behind the post? And why? Why should you tell your story? Why should you post this or that? That why is not why do you. It's you need to know the why behind what you do. The why behind what you do. That's critically important. So, I want you to remember those 3 points. They can't be separated. Just like these 3 figures. Something that I picked up on a trip to South Africa with my brother Jerome. A gentleman carved these 3 individuals out of a block of wood. So they're forever linked. Like the 3 dimensions of self. I, myself, and me. But you have a hero's journey in you. You have a shero's journey in you. And it might begin with the separation of something, or from something, or from some people. Don't be afraid of that separation. It's purposeful in your story. There'll be an initiation, and it may not be comfortable. It may not be to your liking, but it's for your growth. Embrace the message in the mess. Seek out the message in your mess and proceed on. Because life is about going forward, not about standing stuck. And I believe that when you return, you'll be better. When we return from all this, we'll be better. I want to just thank you all for taking some time with me. Apologize for the technical difficulties today. But that's life. And we keep on going. So a great example of just pick it up, keep it moving, and keep on going. You edit the story later, but keep on writing. Make sure you like the message if it resonates with you. Leave us a comment. And oh, by the way, if you would like the link to Finding Joe, I have a car conversation that I want to share with you that I just posted not too long ago that speaks to some of this that I would like to share. If you're interested in that, I want you to email me. I want you to show me that you're willing to put some work in. I could easily post it on my personal page. I could easily post it on Thought Tribe. But that makes it too easy. And it negates the journey from separation to initiation, growth, return to the better. So I want you to email me at thoughttribe@mail.com. Thoughttribe@mail.com. joe.com. I look forward to providing some individuals with links to Finding Joe, which really is about finding you. I know that I saw a little of myself in that documentary. I got a lot out of it. And I got a card conversation that's going to give you a little something to think about as well. And just want to again say thanks a lot. Once this live is done, please do me a favor and consider sharing it with 5 to 10 of your friends and family. Just send some positive messages out there. I know where my heart's at in this situation. My intentions are positive. I hope you got something out of it. And until we see each other next Saturday for another live and Living Color, I say peace. Johnny Williams III, signing off.